my name is Harli. I'm from Canada. I'm going into grade 10 this year. I am interested in climate change and ways that we can make a better future. I love animals and like to go riding. I am interested in people's different views about what is happening in today's world. I love to draw and enjoy baking and cooking.
Hi, my name is Rahul. I'm from the Fiji Islands. I'm currently in Gospel High School in grade 12. I like to listen to music, watch movies, and travel.
Hi, I'm Rahma Naura Iman, and I'm a 16-year-old high school student from Bogor, Indonesia. My hobbies are watching movies, dramas, or reading books.
Hello, I am Alvin Wong, and I am from Hong Kong. I am a rising 11th grader studying at the International Christian School. Music has always been my hobby, and I have recently founded this initiative called March to Your Beat, which is a music initiative to help those with special needs.
Hi, Inspired Youth Summit. My name is Bella. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Hong Kong. I currently study at the Canadian International School of Hong Kong and I'm an incoming senior. After high school, I want to study law in the UK, and in my free time, I really love to cook, and I'm also the founder of Thalassemia Hong Kong. I'm also very passionate about the Sustainable Development Goals, so I'm very excited to see what's to come.
Hello everyone, my name is Lavanya Chutke. I am 16 years old and I'm currently in the 10th grade. I go to the Canadian International School of Hong Kong, and the stuff that I like to do, I enjoy all things art related, from theatrical to visual. I enjoy creative writing and reading.
Hello there, my name is Leah Elizabeth Dicom. I'm 17 years old and I am from Malaysia. Right now, I am studying in pre-university under the IB program. I like to draw, read, and play with my Rubik's Cube.
Bulavinaka, my name is Vasemaca from the Fiji Islands, and I'm 16 years old. I'm a pure science student and currently in year 11. My hobbies include singing, socializing with friends, and teaching children moral values every week before this pandemic occurred. Vinaka.
Hi, my name is Zoe Beaulieuasselin and I'm 17 years old, living in Sydney, Australia. I am originally French and Canadian. I'm currently in year 12, my final year of high school, and for my university studies I'm hoping to pursue art curatorship and history. My hobbies include surfing, being in the ocean, and watching Mamma Mia on repeat.
I'd like to first off start with thanking every one of you for joining this summit. You know, you're taking out time out of your busy schedules, I assume. And shout out to Harli, because she's actually up at 3 a.m. there. I thought she was in Hong Kong. What we're actually going to be doing is a panel style discussion. I don't know if everyone's aware of what type of discussion that is, but I guess a discussion where everyone's open to answering and sharing their experience. So going on to the fourth theme, I'm sure a lot of you are probably thinking about your future right now, and especially for the school leavers. So you're probably thinking about what's the next step for my career, and and a lot of things have probably changed, because of the pandemic, and you might have new thoughts and new ideas about your future. So we'd like to really hear some of your thoughts here, because you guys are the ones that are going to be the laborers of the future. You're going to be the money makers, and with all your skills and new skills. So it'll be nice to know how your ideas about your future from now, because maybe in 10 years you'd look back at this video and be like, wow, I was on point or I was way off. So really give your honest thoughts here. So have you changed your ideas about your future plans because of the pandemic?
But I always got so scared of that question when I was a bit younger, because I had no clue. I had no clue what I wanted to do until just recently. And when I decided what I wanted to do, because I want to go study in Europe, because I've got my French citizenship, and so as soon as I decided I want to go there and I want to study art curatorship, I might not be able to go to Europe and study anymore. So it's definitely kind of changed that aspect of it, of just not being able to do what I did want to do when I had just figured it out, if that makes any sense.
So now your plans have changed to go study in Europe?
Well, I'll probably have to do a few years of studies here first, as we're not going to be able to travel.
Yeah.
In our school, we actually had a subject allocated to sort of teaching us the skills, like soft skills you would need going into the future, and it was called careers. So we were talking about like quote unquote dying professions, like the blue collar jobs that will probably not be there when we go into the working field. I definitely think we covered like social, like the ability to like socially interact with others, which is kind of getting lost in translation a little bit during COVID. Like that this is kind of like the prime time that you just sort of develop those skills to like learn how to talk to different types of people. But unfortunately, when you're behind a screen, it's not really as effective. But I definitely think that is something that we definitely need to develop, that is getting sort of lost, and that we're getting a little bit deprived of, like not being able to talk to others. So that's definitely a skill going in that we would need.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. It's a very important skill. Very, very important one. Any other soft skills or even more, technical skills?
Yeah. I think I agree with the point being made. I have something similar to say. I think one of the most important skills you need when going to university and beyond is the ability to learn.
Yes.
And I think because the jobs are so rapidly changing now, technology is changing everything so quickly. The jobs that are going to be here 20 years from now are going to be different from the jobs that are going to be here 30 years from now. So basically, you have to keep adapting and adapting. And the thing is that what school is teaching us right now is to teach us the skills of learning something new. So I think what's more important about learning a new subject is not necessarily the content of the subject, because arguably, I don't think that we're going to use much of the content of what we learn in school much in daily life. But I think what's most important is how we are able to learn something new from scratch. That's a skill that everybody needs to be able to know as they step into the real world.
That's a very good point. You're right. I think I would have loved to learn. I think before getting into uni, I think I would have loved to learn how to learn. I think I really struggled with that in my first few years of uni. And I think had I paid more attention to that, if I had some sort of exposure to that, I think would really help me thrive at uni. Because even something that you might think is simple, like note taking, for example, there's definitely a science to that, and you don't really need to spend so much time note taking. For example, if you can do it smart, there's a way. There are shortcuts to success there. So that's a really good point, Alvin. Any other skills that you can think of? Because I'm thinking now, like during my time, we didn't have any classes on like coding, for example. Computer science was very basic back then.
I'm not necessarily into it, but at my school, I've found that they don't really have a very good like computer technology program. So I think what would be great is if like I could have a better education on like technology and like coding, as you said, because like it's gonna be probably something very important in the future because it's evolving like all the time and it's changing. And I think that it's a very important skill for like everyone to know, especially because it's probably gonna like it's in our day-to-day life already, and it's probably going to be like a lot more in the future. And I think it's very important to learn.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think so many schools are already sort of adopting that, and yeah, I'm quite quite surprised that maybe the school is looking at it maybe.
Yeah, my mom was very surprised when she found out for my IP class I wasn't really doing much for computer stuff, and it was a bit disappointing, but yeah, that's something that I would like to get a better education on out here.
I think that said, it's not like, we're ever too old to start learning whatever. Like I didn't learn any of that. And I think if I were to take out, let's say 6 months to a year, I think I can learn anything. I mean, not anything I want, but like a significant amount of what is going to be relevant. So please don't lose hope. Rahma, in Indonesia, what are the schools trying to develop for the young generation, for the future? And what do you think they should add maybe?
Compared to the other schools around the world, I think Indonesia lacks quite a bit in teaching the students about the kind of computer things. Especially in high school, we don't really learn anything like that. I don't think, especially in public schools, even though I don't go to a public school, but I think the education system in Indonesia is more fixed on normal subjects,
traditional ones.
Yeah, traditional ones like physics, chemistry, those kind of things. We don't really have computer science or those soft skills taught as a subject. Probably there is, but not as a subject, more like a club or extracurricular sort of thing. So I think Indonesia can improve on that aspect.
So what subject do you think that they should adopt, I think, for you, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think let's see. I think the computer, the computer or the coding kind of thing, I think that would be great to teach to the high school students, because we don't really have something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a very important subject. I think, in my opinion, I really think that there's so many skills to teach. I think it's just a matter of finding how to make that into a curriculum and teach that to children, and at what age. I think there's a lot of challenge in all of that. But I think an important one should also be financial literacy. I think a lot of us, a lot of people my age, for example, now we have no idea, don't have much knowledge on financial literacy. Anything to do with stocks or cryptocurrency, for example, those graphs, how to save money. So I think that to me is also a really important subject. I guess moving on, because we're going towards the end of this theme, and now that most of you are probably thinking of which universities to apply to, so do you think are universities still relevant in your opinion? Or do you feel like they should all be made online? Do you feel, because a lot of people now, they're thinking, okay, I can just take a data science certificate from Google and I can start working. I don't need university for that. There are a lot of people saying, oh, you don't need a university degree to do this or that. And you can make just as much money or even more by being a gamer, for example. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Is the opinion that universities are still, the only pathway to your success, or has it changed so far?
I feel here in Australia anyway, I feel like it's because I've lived in Abu Dhabi, where it was quite important that you do go to university. And then when I moved here, I realized that the whole perception of university is very, very different. So there's many people that drop out of school in year 10, sort of when you turn 16, and they pick up a trade. So they either go into plumbing or like electricity, and so they're almost encouraged to do that if they feel like school's not for them, that go straight into the working field and learn by being on site. And so they start making a living at age 16 instead of waiting and then getting a university degree and then working. So they've got a lot more experience in that time. So I found that the Australian system's really good for that they're very like accepting and encouraging that like you learn good skills.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, the economy in Australia is quite good, and they can accommodate that. I think for many people in many different countries, that is quite a tough thing to do. I think, like, for example, in Malaysia, for example, to really get a good career, being an electrician would be quite tough. Like, I mean, the ladder is not going to be too high. You can't really earn a very comfortable living doing that. So I think that's I guess it differs, because I know in Germany, for example, you can actually live an okay life, a good life being working in a vocation like plumbing or being a brick maker, for example. So anyway, what about you, Lavanya? What do you think universities are still relevant?
I think Alvin actually might be able to relate to me in this one in terms of the Hong Kong environment. I feel like even if it's not pressure that comes from your parents, it's a very, very competitive environment. So it's almost as if university is like it's like a very narrow, like that is the end goal, like that is what you want. So like even if your parents are not like, which I know is the case for many kids in Hong Kong, is that their parents are like a huge like influential pressure to but also the competitive environment and academic standards in school are really high. So you kind of like, it's almost as if like you're just kind of like made to think university is like the only path. Like that's at least been my experience, that like just like heart set on university, no really other option, I guess. Sort of my standpoint on that.
Alvin, would you like to confirm that?
Yeah, I totally understand that point, and I do agree with this point. It's totally true with the culture that we live in today. I have some feeling that it will change in the next couple of years, though. I think that the education system is bound to change in the next 10 years, and I think that change right now drives innovation. So, like, if we change the education system, it doesn't. Universities will change. And maybe they will switch out of the more traditional form. Maybe they will be more online based, as you said just now. And I think that this type of change will drive new forms of innovation, which will continue to drive more change. So I think, like, if we change the education system, if we change the university system, the jobs in the future will change, and our whole world's mindset will change. So I think it's very, very important how universities function, because it will affect a lot of our future lives.
Yes, that's true. That is definitely true. I remember like attending one short like workshop on like the future of universities, and many people had so many different ideas on how it will change, and what will be relevant, what wouldn't be, and they all predicted that it will change in the next 10-15 years, like you said. So I think we'll definitely have to keep our eyes out on that. Okay, so I think we spent enough time on this theme, although we didn't cover that many questions, but I think your answers were very, 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 very interesting.